Google does this, YouTube does this. OKR, so there's going to be the objective and there's going to be the... What is your goal for this Ramadan?
Mine can't be to finish the Quran because I've done that.
Three, yeah, okay. So you want to finish the Quran 3 times?
Yeah.
I love it.
My next one is I want to pray every salah in the masjid.
I love it. Just for the walking to the masjid in wudu for an obligatory prayer, gets the wudu.
Wow. Make wudu before.
I love it.
I want to spend half of the time in a Muslim country.
I love it. Wallah, here in Dubai.
Our sheikh has been trying to convince me. And I want to find a specific sheikh to spend time with.
100 calls a day to do with Mashayikh. You might have to do that, bro.
I was working on a similar system, but now I can see why this one is so much better and so much more advanced.
I love it. For 10 years, I've held back sharing my true self with you guys. It's now that I've realized that that wasn't something that was good to do. But now I've decided to open up a lot more and share with you my real life, raw experiences. I'm going to be sharing insights with you with regards to my marriage, with regards to my businesses, my seeking knowledge, my friendships, my ups and downs, smiles and frowns, the betrayals that I've seen, what life in Dubai is like. I have just one request from you. If this is something that you'd like to see more of, click the subscribe button. The way that we will measure whether this is something that you guys want and are benefiting from is if that subscribe button is clicked and those numbers go up. If not, then we know that you guys want something else and we'll redirect and change course. So click that subscribe button. With that said, let's get back into the podcast and hopefully you guys are going to get some value, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. People, how are you guys doing? So let's get straight into it, man. Everyone's talking about goal setting, achieving your goals, how to achieve your goals. And there's so much stuff that's out there, right? And we're going to give it to you raw 100%. Something that is so effective when it comes to goal setting. Google even uses it. To the point where these man, they use this goal setting thing as like one of their pinnacle backbones by means of why they group their company. But what we're going to use this goal setting process for, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to use it for Ramadan. Because Ramadan is something that's so important, people, that if you manage to catch one in Ramadan, you can have a reward that's greater than the reward of the martyrs. There's actually a hadith, but it was 2 brothers, both of whom passed away. One passed away in battle. He lost his body, his life, his blood, his soul for the sake of Allah in battle. And his other brother lived 1 year longer than him. And that brother was seen in a dream going into Jannah before the other brother. When the Prophet ﷺ was asked, how did the one who lived a year longer, who didn't die for the sake of Allah, go to Jannah before the one who died for the sake of Allah in battle? And the Prophet said, he had 1 more Ramadan. Did he not have 1 more Ramadan? So 1 Ramadan is not something to waste. And you can't not prepare for this. Do you understand? Like, you can't just have trivial goals as well when it comes to Ramadan. So I'm going to, inshallah ta'ala, go through this podcast with our brothers today and myself included. We're going to set our goals for Ramadan live in flesh. We're going to explain to you what the goal setting system is. We're going to explain to you what the goal setting process is, inshallah ta'ala. And then we're going to do it live. And I've got like 40 something minutes because this is not going to be a very long episode. When you guys just get the meat, the real meat, inshallah ta'ala, right? So we can get straight into it. So first and foremost, I'm going to introduce you to what this concept is. And you might have heard about it. And if you hear about it and you are ignorant like I was 2 years ago when I heard about it and I kept ignoring it, I urge you, please, today, don't do that. Abbas, 2 years ago, you sat me down and you tried to introduce me to something called OKRs.
Yes.
I saw like a red little dot, a yellow dot, and a green dot on your Notion. And you tried to convince me. You said, this is the way forward. This is how Sunnah Match is going to grow. This is how we're going to get ourselves out of this rut. And I looked at it and I completely dismissed it. I had my role in the company. I was doing my thing. I was... Actually, at that time, I was actually CEO. I refused to get involved. I was like, what is this nonsense? OKR. The rest of the team was doing it along with it. Abbas was like, no, we're going to stick by it. In layman's terms, right? What is an OKR?
If you also aspire to be a successful entrepreneur, but don't have an idea of where to start, which business route to go down, then we might be able to help you. At the Umrah Setup 2.0, we've been helping brothers set up their own successful and profitable Umrah companies. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, then click the link below, jump on a call with one of our team to see if this program is the right fit for you. With that said, once more, let's get back into the episode, inshallah.
So OKR stands for, there's 3 letters in OKR, it's an acronym. Objectives, key results, right? I don't know why I didn't want to do it, but objectives, key results, right? So the idea is very simple. You have goals, targets, things that you want to achieve that may not necessarily be able to be quantified, right? So you have a goal. Let's say, for example, your goal is I want to I want to make all of my customers happy, or I want people to be more successful.
I want my iman to go up.
For example, I want my iman to go up, right? That's not something you can necessarily ascribe a number to. You know, my iman's gone up 3 points. Can't do that, right?
So what's the problem with that? If that's a goal that I can't put a number on.
So that's what I'm saying. So the issue is, if you can't measure it, there's no way to know that it's going up. There's no way for you to know that it's increasing in a meaningful way. So that's the first part. The first part is the objective, right? And the key results part are the parts that you actually measure, right? So you ascribe two things to each goal. One is the objective, which is the goal itself, and the key results is the measurements by which you know you're achieving this goal.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, if my goal was that I want to become a person who has memorized the Quran, for example, right?
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to memorize the Quran. How would I quantify that goal? How would I measure that goal? How would I measure that I'm achieving that goal based on an OKR system?
So something like that, you would have to break it down into its constituent parts. So you know when you may cross the next border. So perhaps you break it down into ajza, or maybe you break it down into pages, or maybe even you might even break it down into individual ayat to say, once I've crossed this is my next key result is to memorize juz amma. My next key result, memorize juz tabarak, etc. As you go further and further. And you can set, obviously you should set some time to say, you know, in this certain allotted amount of time, this is my result that I want to achieve. And then you can use KPIs to achieve that. Well, that's a add-on subject, but you can use those tools to basically achieve that key result. But basically this framework, the reason why I like it, and the reason why I liked it 2 years ago, is because it scales from very small teams. So you can have a team of 1, for example, even if it's just you, like what we're going to do now for the Ramadan thing. Or you can have teams of 20 people that have the same framework, right? 20-person team is huge, by the way. And as I said, the idea behind it is the simplicity, right? We all agree on what the objective is. We all agree what the key results are. Now it eliminates all of the planning and it just leaves you down with execution.
Right. So if correct me if I've understood this correctly. So you've got an objective, you've got a goal, something that you want. Now, usually people have goals that are kind of like wishy-washy. There's no way to actually pin down whether I've achieved it. There's no way to actually measure if I'm actually taking steps towards it. Usually the goals are quite optimistic, quite ambitious, right? So they're kind of out there. How do I actually know that I'm actually working towards it? And how do I know how successful I am, how close I am towards this goal? You're saying there's something called key results, which are kind of like milestones.
Yeah.
So the goal is the what, and the key results are the how.
Basically,
so I would look at this goal and I would say, I want to memorize the Quran. So the question I would ask myself, well, how?
Yeah.
How do I do it? And those hows, I'm going to select 3 to 5 of them, and they're going to be my key results. Basically, so one of the things would be how am I going to memorize the Quran? Well, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to set aside a certain amount of time every day. I'm going to say I'm going to do 1.5 hours every single day.
Yeah.
The second thing I'm going to do is that in that 1.5 hours, I'm going to memorize a page.
Yeah.
So I'm going to memorize 1 page every day. That's one key result. I'm going to have 1.5 hours to do it. And then the third thing is, I'm going to revise for half an hour a day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. All of these things, they add up to become a part of the OKR.
Exactly. And what I love about this is that it has to be a number.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I could say, and I've done this in the past, I'm going to sit down and memorize for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh no, sure, I'm going to sit down and memorize.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not progressing. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Right? I can't find what the fault is. And at the same time, okay, I'm sit down and memorize for an hour, but how much am I supposed to memorize in that time, right? And at the end of a particular cycle, let's just say 3 months, 1 month, 6 weeks, I can actually measure whether I achieve my goal or not. Now, let's just say I wanted to memorize a juz within 3 months. I can actually, at the end of the 3 months, if I didn't memorize the juz, which is like one part of the Quran, if I didn't accomplish it, I can identify straight away what the fault was. Question number 1. The first key result was I'm going to sit down for an hour and revise.
Yeah.
Did I sit down for an hour and revise? Wait, no, I used to sit down for half an hour. Okay, and that's the problem. Okay, maybe I sat down and said, I'm going to sit down and revise 7 days a week. But I noticed I would actually take some days off. So then that's where the problem is. You can quickly, straight away find out exactly where the problem is.
Yeah.
And the next time round, when you do the cycle again, you work towards fixing those mishaps.
Yeah.
You on the same page, bro?
I love this OKR thing, but even before we go in depth with it, I feel like a big mistake people make, because I know people are going to take what you said, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool, I want to memorize a juz, let's say 10 juz in, let's say 3 months, right? Roughly, let's say that's 3 juz every month, okay? But here's the problem with that. If you're a person that never memorized, there's a big issue. You're going to struggle, you're going to suffer.
Yeah.
And although you set that objective, you have the key result, you're going to find it hard to get yourself to sit down. One of the things I've started to push brothers to do, and I've started to do myself, is focus on being consistent in the first half of anything you want to do. So when you set a goal, like for example, one of the goals I had at one stage, like, you know, I want to finish 7 juz in this year. Now, the mistake I did was what everyone does. I go on Google, I get my calculator or whatever. Okay, how many pages do I need to do each day, etc. But this was from a person that wasn't memorizing the Quran consistently already in the first place. So the first thing you need to do is, I say, start easy. And the reason I say that, it comes from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The most beloved of acts to Allah are the ones that are consistent, even if they're small. So if you actually take, like, let's say, okay, I need to get a page a day to get that later on, but first I'm going to start with just half a page. But I have to do this half a page every day, and it's relatively easy, right? If, like, it could be 2-3 verses, whatever is easy for people, and you bang that out, you become consistent in that, then it becomes much more easier to fulfill your, you know, your key results, that you're getting them each time to ultimately fulfill your objective, right? Even like, let's talk money, for example, because it's easy in people's minds, yeah? Everyone starts to get a deeper understanding when you use the example of money. Let's say I wanted to make 100K in a year. I don't need to make 25K each quarter. The first quarter, I just need to maybe make 10K, but build a strong system that's going to make me 20, like, let's say 30K each month after
you
that.
may not even make, you might even go into loss for the first quarter, but you've created a product that's amazing.
Exactly. So you've built the base. So that's what I want to tell people.
No, I completely agree with you. In fact, me and Imran were talking about this. We were talking about Qiyam al-Layl. And I think we were in Medina. We were in Medina. And all I said was, how do you pray Tahajjud, Qiyam al-Layl, whatever you want to call it, consistently? And what you said, I think you got it from your Shaykh. You were like, basically you just start with the smallest bit, which is just 1 witr after Isha.
For a year.
1 witr after Isha for a whole year. And then after that year's over, then you add 2. And then after that next year, you add 2 more. That's it. Okay. You don't have to, like, one night I'm going to try and do 30 or 40 or 50. You don't have to do that. That, inshallah, it will come to you later. You
comes with one man boost, doesn't it?
You do one now,
1 month,
do 3 next year.
Look, this is something that I learned the hard way, which is this: the importance of breaking things down into its smallest parts, and being consistent for an extended period of time, and then building on it slowly and slowly and slowly. Because look, when you do something consistently for long enough, I'm not talking a month or 2, I'm talking about a year, and that's a habit for life now, inshallah. And then if you just slowly just add on one extra thing, another, and by the way, the exponential growth starts to actually kick into place as well, because you'll start to notice that, or perhaps it may not even be exponential, but it's growth nonetheless. You will start to get better every year. Some people have been wondering, well, why can't I pray 10 or 11 rak'at of Qiyamul Layl every night consistently? Well, tell them, I just start with 1 witr a year, 1 witr a day for a year. At the end of 10 years, you'll be there. Not even 10 years. At the end of 5 years, because you're going to add 2 rak'at. At the end of 5 years, you'll be there. And he'll say, no, I want to do it now.
Yeah, but isn't it better for you
stop and start, and 7-8 years down the line, he still won't have a consistent
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Isn't it better that you do 1 every day for a whole year than you do 5 one time and 7 one time and 13 another time, and one day you bang out 51 and then you just stop doing it for months on end? Isn't it better you just do 1 every day for a whole year?
Because the Prophet
That's much
said,
better. Exactly like how the Prophet mentioned.
It goes back to
Exactly. Yeah.
خير الأعمال, or come up. The best of the most beloved of matters to Allah is the ones that are consistent, even if they're little. I.e., someone who prayed 20, 50 rakat a night every now and again is not better than the one who just prayed 1 witr every night, always never left it off. But you know what it is though, some people are going to be sitting there and they're just not going to get it, because I didn't get it for 10 like it took me a lot of time to actually get that. You have to break things down to your smallest parts, right? Because we just want to go out there and grab things by the horns. And I'll tell you something, the reason why I love the OKR thing is because the OKR thing, you know what's amazing about that? It helps you measure what you can actually do. Like right now, if I said to you, do the smallest possible part so you can be consistent, your smallest and my smallest and his smallest is all different. It could be that your smallest is actually 2 pages a day. And I've seen people like that. For them, 2 pages a day is easy, bro. They'll memorize 2 pages a day. For them to sit down for 2 hours, that's easy. They can do that. Other person, maybe for me, just 15 minutes a day. What I love about this thing here is what it says to you, and this is what I love about this thing, because I love setting crazy goals because it makes you move forward. But the L is that I'm always late when it comes to my goals. Whenever there's a goal that I've set out to achieve, with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, I don't remember a goal that I set out to achieve I never achieved, honestly, genuinely, or that I'm not in the process of already doing. Wallah, I'm not exaggerating, but I'm always late. I'm always late for my goals. It never comes within 3 months or 6 months, or it will just come later. But you know what I love about this process? It says to you set a certain time limit, but you know what? It's all right if you didn't get your target at the end of that 3 months. You know why? Because what you're going to do is you're going to look at that 3 month cycle or that 6 week cycle, and you're just going to say, well, what went wrong? Should we just revisit it? Should we just tweak it? If you found
the best part about it is the mental burden you take on is limited. You know that at the end of 3 months, if this doesn't work out, I can switch to another objective.
Well, you
can
can just make it 1 month. You can literally just make it 1. Because if you feel like the goal is too long, for that 1 month, now at the end of that month, just review. Say, okay, what? Well, some things are a little bit easy, but then other things are a little bit harder. So you know what you could do? You just tweak it. You just slightly tweak. Okay, instead of saying an hour, I can say an hour and a half. You might say it was a bit hard for me to memorize a page in an hour, but I can.
And let me pick your brain
maybe
here.
do an hour and a half, or maybe drop it.
Let me pick your brain here, because one of the things that I don't like to do.
If I could just mention that. So then the consistency here is the act of memorizing, not necessarily the target. So you might drop the target, but you carry on doing it until you find that sweet spot. Now, for example, I'll give you an example. Google, they had this crazy idea for Google Chrome, right? When they introduced it, they said we want to get 10 or 20 million active users 7 days a week, right? Which is nuts for the first year. Like, that's crazy adoption, right? That's a crazy goal. So they did it. So you know what they did the next year? They said, we're going to up the goal to like 50 mil. So the first year, it was 10 mil, right? They only got 7 mil. So they failed. So when they revisited that cycle, and okay, they said, we failed. Here's why we failed. Let's fix X, Y, Z, but let's increase the goal still because we made progress. So they made it 50 mil. They got like 30 something mil in that year. Adopted Google Chrome 7 days a week. So they failed again, technically. But the whole thing is this process is not about failure. It's about just make sure you're doing something every day and you've got something to measure it by and assess it at the end of the year or the quarter or the month so you can then tweak things. So then the third year, technically they failed again. They said, we're going to go for 111 million users. You know what they did in that year? They got 170 mil. The point is eventually you'll get it. Because what you're doing is you've clearly defined the goal. You've clearly defined the steps. And the steps, you've put a number to them. So I can measure this. It's either going up and down. It's either I was measuring the wrong thing or I just didn't do what was required for it. Or maybe I just didn't have the capacity so I can change it. I could tweak it. And what they say is, look, bruv, what you need, your goal should be, they call it a big, hairy, audacious goal. It shouldn't be something that's small, right? The goal should be high.
100%.
Because imagine I'm trying to catch myself a star. Imagine I'm going into space. I'm jumping. I'm trying to catch a star. I'm reaching for the stars. But if I don't catch a star, maybe I'll land on the moon. Maybe I'll land on the moon, right? But if all I'm doing is reaching for a tree, if I don't catch the tree, I'm going to fall flat on my face. So the goal has to be slightly out there. Do you understand? But that doesn't mean you're not going to be consistent if you don't get the goal. It's okay if you don't get the goal. We're just going to carry on working on it. We're going to tweak in it and fix it, inshallah ta'ala. And you were going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah. Even before I say what I was going to say, but it's a principle. Like, people don't understand, like, aiming high is something that is from the deen, right? Even the Prophet says, don't ask for just don't ask for Jannah, ask for Firdaus, ask for the highest level. So a lot of Muslims have this, I've noticed, problem where we just want to coast, but we should actually be the ones to aim to take over. Does that make sense? And going back to what I was saying, let me pick your brain, because I always hear people saying like time limits with goals. Now, I've noticed a couple problems with when I set like, okay, do this for 1 hour. A lot of people have problems doing a focused hour, if that makes sense. So they'll say, I was doing it for an hour, but did they do justice?
Not real
I
hour.
like to set material, like something, and let me know what you think about this. Obviously, I'm open to hearing your responses. But for example, like, I don't like to say I will read Quran for an hour per se. I need to finish half a page today, per day, if that makes sense. Now, whether that takes me 2 hours today or 1 hour tomorrow, or some pages are different, you know, you're going to struggle
some
differently.
Struggle more,
exactly. But I found it's better, because if I say 30 minutes and I start my 30-minute time, I might get a phone call here, I might get distracted, or maybe I'm reading, but I'm not actually focusing, and I'm playing with my memorization, and then by the end of it, I haven't memorized anything.
Wallahi, akhi, this is something I swear by Allah. You know, this is the year of productivity for me. This is the year where I finally started to understand things. But like 10 years, you know, it took 10 years for me to learn a lot of things. But finally, alhamdulillah, this is something I've wrestled with for a long time. And I got a couple of hacks for it. Number one, what I do is I do all my deep work. You know that deep work, I do it in the morning. You know why? Because people are either bummy, they're too bummy to be awake, they're sleeping at the time, or they're just doing their little morning routines, you know, eating my little cereal or doing whatever, but they're not actually grinding at that time. So at that time, they're too busy with family, with kids to bug you. Well, I noticed people won't bug you up till Dhuhr. Up till Dhuhr time, from Fajr to Dhuhr, it's like, well, people are not awake. You know, for a man to get up at Fajr, I'm here, I'm out, I'm in the world now, I'm getting it in. The Prophet ﷺ said, oh Allah, bless my ummah fi bukuriha in the morning. So I'm trying to catch that barakah, do you understand? People are not like that. So in the morning, and even if they are awake, it takes a while for them to get active. It's not like they call you first thing in the morning. Second thing I do is I discovered a crazy feature last night on my phone.
What?
You can actually set a setting where people can't call you.
Yeah. Stop. You're just finding
Just
this out
now.
today. You're finding this out today.
No, 1 second. When I say I found it, as in I've heard about it,
Yeah.
but I didn't register.
You never used it.
Our bucket does it all the time.
Yeah.
And I only clocked last night. This is sick.
Yeah.
Third thing, you know, I ordered something off Amazon yesterday. I heard brother Muhammad Andalusi does this. So then I got inspired. And yesterday I just got annoyed because I found myself distracted with the phone, and I just said, I'm going to order this. Is a lockbox with a timer. Go to Amazon and type in lockbox with a timer for a phone. Or it's a box, you put your phone in there, put a timer on, and it will not open for that certain lot of time.
Mad.
Game over. But you know what? I'm not even using it for the morning because I don't really have a problem with my phone in the morning, alhamdulillah.
It's night
Like,
time before you
I don't
sleep.
even have, because I'm early. They're not bugging me in the morning. It's at night. As soon as after Isha, place this little technological beauty but beast at the exact same time, place it in this box, set a timer, and I also purchased an alarm clock for myself, like one of those just dead
Just alarm clock. Yeah, I got
Casio
one of those
alarm
too.
clocks.
I
Yeah,
got one of those
literally,
too,
because I need to wake up in the morning, right? So the phone's gone. I said to my wife, I said, babe, your phone's going. Sorry.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
No, do you know what it is? And I love that because I was telling you, like, I feel so fresh today, right? Sleep is important. Yesterday, I don't know if you clocked, but I was kind of groggy, this, that, and the next. Like, I came in here, I was like, yo, can I get a coffee, please?
Okay, yeah, you
Because
did,
I don't know
yeah.
how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this podcast
Yeah,
without
for
coffee,
real. You did
bro.
well though yesterday,
I was
brother.
done.
You did
You
well
know,
yesterday.
yesterday, alhamdulillah, but I was totally tired, bro. But then today, like, as soon as I was working, like, I was even on call with the team. They're like, there's something different about you today. Like, you're spitting extra gems. Like, I slept. I slept. It makes a
yeah,
difference,
sleep is
especially when it comes to memorization. My memorization was so dead for a long time. I clocked this because I wasn't sleeping. When I started sleeping, bro, I was banging out pages easy. My teacher was, yeah, you have to finish the Quran. He grabbed me. He's like, if you don't finish the Quran, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So I've noticed this is a thing that Muslims need to, like, not even quantity of sleep, but also quality of sleep. And when you see the Prophet used to sleep after Aisha, it's not that his sleep wasn't broken. It's not that he sleeps like the 10, 12 hours. Some of the brothers out here are sleeping, right? His sleep was broken. He used to get up for Qiyamul Layl. You know, Allah commands him in the Quran, قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا, and stand up in the middle of the night, even if it's for a little bit. But you see his quality of sleep was better because of the times it was after Aisha. And I've noticed, if I sleep 4 hours, right, or even 4 to 6 hours, but I get into bed like before midnight, it's way
good, innit?
different
It's
than
sweet.
if I sleep if I sleep those same hours after midnight. It's a big difference.
Yeah, there's actually studies that mention
Yeah, no,
that
no,
if you're
100%.
awake for 2
No, you're right,
hours,
yeah.
if you're awake for 2 hours between 10 and 4 a.m., you're considered a shift worker. And shift worker, as in a night shift worker, right? And if I'm not mistaken, Abbas, correct me if you come across, but I came across a study something like the mortality, the chance for you dying is 10 years earlier on average than other people.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You know, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I actually want to speak about this because I actually did.
And the
like,
Prophet
a
ﷺ actually
study.
mentioned, he actually prohibited us. Many people don't know this. He prohibited us from staying awake after Isha and from talking after Isha. Unless you're talking to your wife, or maybe you're doing dhikr, Quran, seeking knowledge, talking to your kids. But we were actually prohibited. We were told, no, don't. We were told, do not be awake and talk after Isha.
And that's beautiful because, wallahi, I've noticed something, right? We took like a study because we tend to do this to see why certain people are flopping, right? We took the guys in our team or in like the guys we've mentored, coached. We took all the guys that work night times, like they do night shifts, and the guys that do day shift. And wallahi, the differences are scary.
Yeah.
Wallahi, whenever people tell me they're doing night shift, I feel sorry for the guy, man.
Yeah.
You're working anti
You're sacrificing
your
your whole life.
routine.
Your whole life is for this
wallahi,
job. Yeah.
you can't. I don't see how you could be happy. Like they're always bad moods as well.
You know what it
They're
is,
weird people. Night shift people are weird, bro.
You know what it is though? But like, There's some
Well,
jobs.
live facts, bro.
No, but-
it's true.
no, but you know,
Like,
but
I mean, you have to do what you have to do to survive. So, well,
Of course, I
don't
get
look
some
down
people
on them.
are
I'm
in
just
that
saying, bro,
situation.
you need to change
Yeah,
this
it's
one
find
today.
a way.
When I came across this one thing, when I came about the sleeping thing, I'm gonna come back to the goal setting for the people who are wondering, but this is also important stuff. But when I came across it, I straight away, my heart kind of did go out for like doctors and stuff. We do need people to work night shifts.
Yeah.
There's some people that just need to work night shifts. Like, there's some jobs where, bruv, I don't need to be a night shift worker. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like, the job is pointless. Like,
Yeah.
why am I going to be in a barista in a 24-hour cafe at night? Bruv, that cafe doesn't need to be open. It's not like a job like that, right? Unless you're doing it for extra P, circumstances peak, I get it. But even then, sleep is important. But there's some jobs, what do you do? And then I remembered, you know the role for the mujahideen, the ones who do ribat, the murabitun, the ones who stay on the borders of the Muslims, protecting them from what? Protecting them from?
Invasion.
From the invasion. Everyone else is asleep, but they're awake, looking. And the reward for them is amazing. The Prophet said, those eyes, man. Man, the people who do ribat, man, like they're taken care of. Their ajr is so much. And it makes sense because you're actually putting yourself in a circumstance where, bro, the study, only Allah knows when you're going to die.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't place our trust in these studies or whatnot, but like just from a taking the means perspective, or being awake at night, bro, it'll kill you off early. It's a cause for death. People don't get it. It's a cause for death. Do you understand? But may Allah Azza wa Jalla reward those who are, you know what I'm saying?
With necessity though.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
you know
with
some
necessity.
people, because
They
of the
do it for
extra,
good work,
day shift.
wallah, I
Yeah,
speaking
yeah.
to some guy
For
has a job
Netflix,
with Amazon,
bruv.
yeah,
Man's staying awake for
extra
Netflix.
£2-3, you know, that they don't need an hour. My man's killing his whole life.
That productivity, being fresh in the morning, you'll be able to get more.
That's why I touched on, obviously we're talking about goal setting, but what's the essence in setting goals and when you're not, you know what I'm saying, going about them effectively?
Oh, 100%.
You know?
If you was to ask me, one of my biggest productivity hacks in terms of, other than like the spiritual ones, which are the main primaries like Quran and barakah from Quran, I would say is going to sleep on time.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, look, we promised the people we're going to do a live demonstration of this goal setting, right, to see how it works. But my friend, what we'll do is we'll carry this on for another 10 minutes extra, and I'll just minus it from the next podcast. Yeah, okay. So what I want to do, inshallah ta'ala, is we're going to make OKRs. We're going to show people how it's done. Okay. So let's go first with you, Abbas, yeah, because you've done this before.
Sure.
Okay, so Abbas is, guys, I do not write well. I write like an absolute joker. Okay, children can write better than me. I am dyslexic. So I'm going to share this document with you. In fact, let me just screen record this, yeah? But you can laugh at me all you want, yeah? But I read in English and Arabic, and I finish one book a week at the very minimum, if not two. Say Allah Barik. So you can laugh all you want.
If you record with sound, then you clap before it can sync it, by the way, so it comes up.
Say again, sorry?
If you screen record with audio.
I didn't even know how to screen
clap
record this. There's no option.
sound. Swing it over. I'll turn it on.
Jazakallah khair. So you can mock me, I know it's going to be there, but like I said, Allah Barik, I read different languages. I don't know. Dyslexic people are not supposed to be able to, but or supposed to struggle, but that shows in it. These are just labels, man. It's about what you do at the end of the day.
I'm thinking about what my goals are supposed to be.
No, we're gonna do it right now.
SubhanAllah.
Oh wow, solid. So we're gonna put this on the screen so you lot can see. Or do you want to write it out for the people? Because true sit is not gonna be a great experience when I do it. Go on.
I can't say I'll be much better than you, but let's see.
Go on.
Okay, I've asked. Okay,
So let me talk you through the process. Obviously, you know what you're doing, but just for the benefit of the people, right? So OKR. So there's going to be the objective, which is the what.
Yep.
The outcome, which is the what.
Yep.
Then there's going to be the key results, which is the how. What are the key steps that I'm going to take to be able to get this?
Yeah.
So what is your big, hairy, audacious goal for this Ramadan? What do you want to do this Ramadan? By the way, you can have 2-3 OKRs.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I have to work on some of the ones. As in, you want every Ramadan to be better than the previous Ramadan, right? So mine can't be to finish the Quran because I've done that in a previous Ramadan before. So it has to be more, right? Let's do 2. No. Let's do 3.
3, yeah. But okay. Come. So you want to finish the Quran 3 times?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Cool. Now let me ask you a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your goal.
Yeah.
That's your objective. You want to finish the Quran 3 times this Ramadan.
Yeah.
All right. So give me 3 to 5 key results. What is that? What is the how? The how.
Okay, let's call that.
What is the how?
So what I did last time, and this is a good framework for me, right? I don't know if it's good for everyone, but what I did last time was I will read Quran after every salah. So I'll pray Fajr and then I'll read some Quran. I'll pray Dhuhr and read some Quran, etc., etc. So I clocked. If you read 4 pages after every salah, that's 1 juz every day, right? So in this case, I have to read 12 pages after every salah.
Or you can just go hard on the last 10 nights.
Yeah, could do, but I mean, like to me, this is like my minimum. Do you get it?
Okay.
As in, if I go hard and also do this, then I could.
I like it, 3. Big hairy and audacious. I like it. I like it.
So
And for the
12.
people that may be busy, because I know like Dhuhr time to read Quran or even memorize it's difficult.
Yeah.
What I started doing is more to make up for the salahs that I'm not present, like not salahs that I'm not present. Of course we pray, but
Yeah.
you know Dhuhr Asr you tend to be busy or out.
Yeah.
So in Fajr I do more, and the Aisha time when I know I'm at home I do
So you
more.
catch up with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one. Second one, I would say is I have to. I think is as you just said, to front load some of the Quran. So I have to read it in the morning, probably more than the others.
Sure.
So I don't think I can give this a page number right now, just for the sake of simplicity. I might have to give it like a time number.
Okay.
Right. So perhaps I read 1 hour a day, which to be honest is reasonable. I think in Ramadan, you know, people
you're
always
up
think
in the
about,
levels, bro.
Is Ramadan? Come on, bro, it's Ramadan. Okay, cool. 1 hour.
Every morning.
Yeah.
So is it? Would you say 4 pages a day after every salah? Is that what you
No,
said?
4 pages. No, so 12 pages after every salah.
Oh, wow.
And I'll read 1 hour in the morning as well.
So you're trying to go for more than 3 juz then?
If I do all this properly, inshallah, I should get like
5.
More, yeah.
I'm ready. All right, go on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say after Fajr. or
Realistically,
Duha.
let me ask you a question though, yeah? Is after Isha possible? Because right after Isha, you go straight into Taraweeh.
Yeah, see, that's true, but
So
I mean,
maybe just drop-
how
maybe-
much of that does that count for me though? If I'm praying behind the imam, that obviously it counts. But what I mean is that I wouldn't include that in my Quran goal.
No, but
Does
I'm
that make
saying
sense?
you've just said 12 pages after every salah, right?
Yeah.
But after Isha,
Yeah.
as in that this is like the practical way of looking
So
at it.
then I'll
now.
have to read after the Taraweeh is over.
Or,
which to be honest is
or
possible
maybe
as well.
if you're doing an hour in the morning, you're definitely
Or
going to
maybe
get more than 12
I
pages.
could miss the Isha
So after
segment,
Isha,
yeah.
you might miss it, or
Yeah.
between the Isha and the time that you have waiting for, you might read 4 pages in that time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're making up for it,
So you're right.
right?
Okay. Okay. The next thing I was gonna say is
So maybe something that gets in the way of you reading Quran.
yeah. How to eliminate that
Yeah.
basically. Okay. Then I guess I'm not.
So it
taking,
could be, for example, if it's work,
That's what I'm
finish X project by this time.
Boom. Yeah, that's literally exactly what I was thinking. So okay, so the main things I'm working on right now. Spoiler alert: we got a new Cinematch app coming out. I'm reviewing marketing every day for Cinematch. We have big competition. Well, we got fierce competition coming in the game. So we're working hard. I guess I'll have to offload all of my work meetings until after Salatul Asr, or let's say. I know, you know what, that's tough as well. Let's say it's between Dhuhr and Asr. That's the only times I'm going to meet with people.
Beautiful. So, guys, you notice that, right? It's not just about the goal. What is the thing that could get in the way of the goal
Yeah,
that
that's
you know you have to? Because if I've said if he said he's going to be reading 12 pages after every salah, he just made a serious commitment. Well, what did he used to do in that time?
Yeah.
Before reading those 12, he used to work. So he's going to have to find a way to reorganize, reshuffle things, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's 3 key results. You could do another 4 or 5, or you could just leave it there.
No, I'll leave it there.
Okay, beautiful. But also, the goal doesn't have to just be Quran. It could be something else. Like
Yeah, no, I got another one. Okay, boom. You
Okay,
ready?
go on. Go for it.
My next one is, and I guess let's just do 2 just for time's sake, right? Number 2 is I want to pray every salah in the masjid, like
5 times.
every salah,
Beautiful,
if I can do all Ramadan, I will not consider it a success if I pray 1 salah outside the masjid.
Okay.
It has to be with the imam. And I mean, like, hatta I'll take a step further. It has to be from the first takbir. I can't join the salah midway through.
Oh,
It has to be from the first
We've got
one.
some serious key results for this.
Yeah.
Then. We've got some serious key results for this then.
Cool. Every salah in the masjid. Okay, so what do you think is my number 1, my A? Has to be live right next to the masjid. I already, alhamdulillah, today I achieved that key result. Alhamdulillah, I already took that one off the list.
No, one thing could be on a serious one thing could be that, because you know anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
Like you might lose your wudu, you might have to do your wudu. So much could possibly happen, right? So you've got to have like a buffer
Yeah.
that no matter what happens, I will leave for the masjid
Yeah.
in wudu at this time?
Yeah.
Like as in,
Okay. Thankfully, alhamdulillah, because as I said, I already achieved the first one. I live right next to the masjid. Like I go down the lift and then I walk 2 minutes and I'm outside the masjid. I feel like when the adhan happens, I have to go. Whether I have wudu or not, I have to make my way towards the masjid. Because there's a obviously wudu area right outside the masjid, so I just go boom and that's it.
So just a hadith, by the way, as a benefit on that, yeah. Aisha radiallahu anha said that the Prophet when he was at home, he used to be in the help of his family, but when the salah would be called and the adhan would go, it was as if he didn't know any of us. He would just leave. Some of the Salaf is mentioned they would have an axe and they'd be swinging the axe, and the moment they hear the adhan, if they swung the axe, it would just drop behind their back. And they would just go to the salah. Like when you hear the adhan, you go straight away. But by the way, just the fact that Abbas, if you do wudu in the house before you leave, Prophet said, whoever goes to the obligatory prayer in the masjid and he's done wudu when he leaves his house, as he's walking, just for the walking to the masjid in wudu for an obligatory prayer, he gets the reward of Hajj.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so I didn't make wudu before.
A key result just be like every time you break wudu, to instantly make wudu. You know, when I first started practicing, actually, you know, one of the things that used to be like make salah tough for me is, man, I has to go make wudu again. So where I prevented it is every time like I went toilet or whatever, I used to force myself to make wudu right after every time. So
remove the friction.
Then it's easy. Exactly. That's a big thing when it comes to goals. Remove as much friction between what it takes to get it done.
I love that. Like that's, by the way, living next to a masjid is removing the friction.
Yeah, definitely.
And the fact that you have that, I love that.
Okay, I got these two. What's my third one?
Okay, so just because of time, should we read Fawaz?
I think
we can add it on after. So just quickly, just read it for us. Read the first goal and the key results quickly.
Okay, so my first goal is, hold on, I'll just do on this. Sorry. Okay, I don't know how to. Oh yeah, boom, here you go. So number one is finish the Quran 3 times on Ramadan. My first key result is 12 pages after every salah. My second key result is 1 hour after Fajr or after Dhuha, for example. My third key result is only take meetings between Dhuha and Asr.
Beautiful. So by the way, guys, you have to understand that's clearly quantifiable. So at the end of the month, if he didn't get that target, he can actually sit there and ask himself, well, why didn't, like I calculated it. So either I didn't read 12 pages after every salah, or I didn't sit for that morning time, or maybe I had meetings outside that time, which means next time around he can keep that in mind and take precautions and appropriately take more measures to be able to achieve that goal.
So, and the second one was every salah in the masjid. So the first, my first key result is leave for the masjid as soon as the adhan goes, as in like I'll leave with wudu because of the fight they mentioned. Leave with wudu as soon as the adhan goes. And the second one was, as Fawaz mentioned, make wudu after every time it breaks.
Beautiful.
That way, I reduce the friction.
I need straight lines.
I need straight lines. I love it. Well, like even if I had straight lines, it wouldn't help me, brother. Even me with straight lines, I'll start going into the next line. Alright, go on. What's your objective, Sheikh? Big, hairy, audacious goal. Your AB.
I want to spend. It's gonna be hard for me just because I'm thinking my schedule. But I want to spend a third of the time, at least half of the time, big scary, in a Muslim country.
Amazing.
Oh wow, Allah
That's a big thing I want, right?
Because you want to spend half Ramadan in a Muslim
country.
Oh, do you know which Muslim country or?
I wanted to go Qatar because I know obviously a lot of shuyukh go there during Ramadan to read Quran, etc.
Wallah, here in Dubai.
Yeah.
Al-Khawanij.
Our Sheikh has been trying to convince me.
Shall I tell you something else? Like any normal, I'll take certain masjids where no one even knows about. Where it's like whatever, some adi little masjids in the corner. Apologies for the interruption, but I think you're going to really want to hear this. Now, myself and Abu Bakr moved to the UAE, to Dubai and Sharjah last year. And since then, people have been asking us non-stop, Akhi, how can we also move to Dubai? Now, there are different ways, but there are two ways that are most common and most cost effective. The first way is to set up a business license, and that's probably the cheapest, easiest way. The second way is to invest in a property here. Now, alhamdulillah, we found a company here run by a brother that we know personally, who's been helping brothers set up business licenses and also invest in properties in a completely halal way. Now, the experience that we had with him was second to none. I mean, the first time round, we had to pay so much extra. We're talking thousands of pounds extra to get our business license and our visa sorted. With him, it was very smooth, it was very swift, and Allahumma barik, there were no issues. And as far as I'm aware, up until now, he's had a 100% success rate in helping people get their visas and their business licenses. Also, when it comes to property, Allahumma barik, He's one of the first in providing the completely halal property investment solutions here in the UAE. So if you're interested, check it out, inshallah ta'ala. Go to link below and get more information if you're interested in. With that said, let's get back to the podcast, inshallah. Next to like some cafe or something. And when I say Sheikh Sudais ain't got nothing on there.
Wow. He's right there. It's pretty simple.
But anyway.
What's the first key result for this? What's your first KR? Been half Ramadan in a Muslim country.
I think I want to make it last period, preferably.
The last 15 nights?
Yeah.
Okay, so specify the last 15 nights in a Muslim country. That's the goal. That's the goal. Last 15 nights in a Muslim country.
Yeah. And I know that might not sound big and scary for some people, but it depends on your schedule, innit? For me, it's something that sounds crazy.
So it sounds like your key results have to be things that you have to get done before, or whilst you are there, being able to manage certain things. So what are your key results? Go on.
For me, first of all, I need to...
Like, how are you going to accomplish that?
Like, by the way, when I say I want to do that, it means I want to completely abandon work. As in, like, I want to be a talib al-ilm from the morning to the night. In the last 10 days of Ramadan, I never work. I don't do anything but respond.
That's good.
You know? So, number one thing I need to do is put everything, like, in place. And the best way to do that, I'd say, for me is, you know, act like I'm going to, I know it sounds crazy, but it's how my mind works. Like, I'm not going to be alive for the last 15 days. So organize everything in a way.
So how does that look like?
How do you measure that?
What are the steps you need to take to achieve that? Like, how will Fawaz get to that stage?
Okay. I need to put systems in order. I need to create systems for everything to function when I'm not there.
Okay, I love this. The guys, now we see Abbas knew how OKRs work fully.
I'm not getting the measurement.
No, it's good. So go on. So show me what that, like, how many systems you have, what system you have to put in place.
Okay. I need to take 3 members of the team, inshallah.
Yeah, see, now we're getting down to OKRs. This is an OKR.
And develop a clear system where everything is flowing without our, like, everything is automated. I'll say. So 3 members of the team to create automation.
So one second. So you need to train these guys, or you need to create the automation
We
system?
need to create the automation system together.
So you need to coordinate with 3 of your team members to create an automated system by what date?
Before Ramadan begins.
By the last...
I think it's March.
25th of Sha'ban. Let's say 25th of Sha'ban.
Bismillah.
25th of Sha'ban.
5 days before Ramadan.
Yeah.
Coordinate 3 team members.
But sorry for the background sound, guys. Had a bunch of my brothers who just shamelessly walked in the middle of a session.
In the middle of the podcast. And then they just walk out. They all just walk out.
And it's not like they fully don't know the pattern. It's not like they're not aware. It was, one of them was the bloody...
Two of them are cameramen.
No,
Two of them
are cameramen. No, one of them is a cameraman. And the other guy is the head of the social media department. What the hell are you guys doing? You joking? Astaghfirullah. Anyway, go on.
Oh, well.
Tell them. Another thing I need to do, so it has to be, the number part is where it gets tricky.
But you see, that's the realness though. That's the realness.
Okay. Tamam.
Because if you don't achieve it,
I need to book everything. I need to have the whole pattern done. Where I don't, because my goal is to be able to leave my phone. This is the other thing I'm going to talk about. I want to leave my main phone at home. I have this second phone.
I know that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But how?
No, but that's the second one. Okay. Does that make sense?
That's the second objective. Okay.
So for this, what's your next way of measuring it?
Again.
Tamam. So, okay.
So is that the only thing you're telling me? If you automate this thing, you can go? There's got to be at least 3.
There's a couple more things I need to do.
What else? So you can comfortably go?
Yeah. It's mainly to do with family. I just need to sort of certain things out with family. Like, make sure all of my family are good. It's hard to put measure on it because there's some things I need to do.
Financially or what?
Financially as well. And just like people, I need to get to do other things for my absence, if that makes sense, for my family.
So do you know how many people there are? Don't mention what it is or who they are.
Yeah,
how many
So
people?
I just need to reach out to 2 people, okay, to make sure that when I'm gone, everything with my family is still sorted. It's still happening.
Okay, cool. So he basically needs to... how do you translate wikala?
I don't know.
Like, how do you translate wikala? In
I
trust.
don't know.
He needs
trust.
There
He
you go.
needs- yeah.
Wow, that's good. That was good. I'm not gonna lie.
Wallah, I'm enjoying this OKR thing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That was very good. Allahu
So
Akbar.
he has to find 2
People to
trustees
entrust
or entrust. He has to find
my
2 people.
duties upon
Yeah.
for 15 days that I'm gone.
And when you're gonna speak to them?
Before the 25th of Sha'ban once again.
No, but when are you gonna speak to them?
Bidnillah now, like after this podcast.
Okay.
Like active, inshallah.
All right, give us the last one. Even though they could be 5, but God, give us the last
Okay,
one.
tamam. The last thing I need to do is to get this. I feel like it will be better. So I want to take a team with me, like 2-3 of the brothers. I want to sort out everything with them so they can follow me. Because I know if I go with them, everything is booked, it's done, I'm going to go. If that makes sense. My mind can't convince me against it.
Yeah.
So I need to find the pattern, and I want to find a specific sheikh to spend time with. It's a big thing with me.
That's good.
So a
Okay, cool.
specific sheikh.
Okay, but that sounds like another separate objective.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a key result
For this particular.
for this. That's
Okay.
that's like, so you want to spend time with some country, that's an objective. You want to leave your phone behind, that's an objective, and you want to spend time with a particular sheikh, that's another objective, right?
Okay.
So because that's the key results are going to be how you're going to find the sheikh and how you gonna quantify it.
Tamam.
How you going to do that 100
Cold
calls a day to remember Mashaykh? You might have to do
Cold
that, bro.
calls,
You might
yeah.
have to.
I think I'm done with
For this,
this.
yeah?
I don't
No,
think it's-
but the last one, you said, how do you I don't get how you quantify that,
Which one?
which was taking the random with you.
Taking the man with me.
Yeah.
I just book their stuff and I get them.
No, but as it
I follow.
How-
the
How
f-
many guys are you gonna take? Are you gonna take
Okay.
them 4?
but does taking them allow you to be able to even go?
Yes,
How?
because when I'm with the brothers, it makes the process easier for me. You know,
Okay.
like we're going together.
So how
I
many
like
guys?
to-
3 guys?
3 guys.
So have 3 of your team members with you.
Yeah.
So number 1, you've automated the processes.
No,
Number 2, you've got 3 of
I
them.
mean, one, me as the third. Just so
Okay,
2 brothers.
two.
Yeah.
Allah better.
Yeah, so he's coordinated with the team members. He's entrusted duties to 2 people in the family, and you're gonna take 2 guys with you.
Yes.
Guys,
Okay.
you see how at the beginning you might have thought, oh, this is easy. But do you understand? That's what. And by the way, you see the way you come up with key results. You know the idea is you're supposed to sit there for half an hour, listing out every possible how to get this goal, and then you're just supposed to pick the top 3 or 5. The most important 3 or 5. Now, at the end of it, what you'll do is you're going to look at that. You're going to say, listen, well, did I get my goal? Okay, yes, thumbs up. That means, truth be told, you shouldn't have got the goal. The goal should have been even loftier.
And guys, I'd just like to say about this OKR system. I remember I was telling you yesterday, I was working on a similar system. But now I can see why this one is so much more better and so much more advanced.
It's even, even for a company.
You know, I see it, John, his name or something.
John Dewar.
yeah.
Listen,
As
this
soon as
guy
you told me, I
measure
searched
what
up.
matters. May Allah guide him before he dies.
I mean-
if you understand, I don't really like to promote the cuffs, but may Allah guide them.
Yeah.
But
Now I started searching it up as soon as you.
Bill Gates
you
does
said it.
this, Google does this, YouTube does this,
Cinemash does it as well.
Cinema does it.
What's the second?
Ratchet Chama Bai
what's the
does
second
this.
OKR?
The second OKR
So
for
we've
me.
run out of time.
Yeah, I think we should just get to
Mushkila.
our sheikh.
But no, I'm good.
You're already done.
We're
with
not,
it,
we're
yeah?
out of time. No, we're out of time. But point being is that I feel like people get the pattern, right?
Yeah.
So in summary, Abbas, I'm gonna let you eloquently summarize. Could you just turn the screen recording off, yeah?
Yeah, come.
Jazakallah khair.
Beautiful. There you go, mate. I don't have an iPad, but I might have to.
Go on.
Might have to.
So just summarize
Take
the
one
OKR
to
process for us,
ready.
inshallah.
Okay, so what? Okay, the reason why I like this, yeah, is because we didn't
So
touch
you've
on this,
got
but I think
literally
sorry,
45 seconds.
Okay, the system teaches you complete accountability. You at the end of it, whether you achieve the goal, whether you didn't, you will know it will boil down to input-based objectives. That's the reason why I like it. So the goal, the dream, the level you want to reach, that's vague in your mind, but the key results are all based on your own input. How much time, how much effort, how many units, material goal that you want to set, whatever it is, that's all down to you. Okay, it's a beautiful system. I love it. We definitely explained it. I think the meat and potatoes, we got into it straight away at the beginning of the show, so I don't think we necessarily have to summarize that, but I'm saying excellent.
I would recommend reading the book. And I'll be honest, there is a little bit of fluff. He tells a bunch of stories, but those stories, to be honest, might be worth reading it because it gives it authority. He's talking about how Google learned from him and how he taught bloody YouTube and Google and how these dons, they all learned this pattern from him. Anyway, with that said, people are going to love you and leave you, man. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah Azza wa Jalla allow you to have a very successful Ramadan. OKRs, I would recommend do a cycle that's pre-Ramadan, during Ramadan, and even post-Ramadan. Have this, just You don't have to do them all in advance. Have the most immediate cycle now, but then inshallah, let it just be something consistently that you do. I'm even implementing OKRs with my daughter's Islamic studies right now currently, man. So you can do this all around. You can do it for your relationship. You can do it for your health, physical health, all of that. With that said, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Assalamu alaikum.